Hello my friends, my family, esteemed colleagues. Lately, many questions are coming, especially from those doing my protocol. Darko, when can we eat some carbohydrates, or is there any way of eating carbohydrates safely? Well, yes, there is. As I explain in my book, and books, both of them are about it. One is strictly about digestion. Problem that glucose from carbohydrate causes is a chronic problem, because same like a fructose, if we eat correctly and then we have fruits, well, it doesn't matter how many fruits you eat, how much fructose comes into your body, because there is a low level of glut. So your absorption to bring glucose or fructose from intestine into the blood through the cell, well, there has to be transporting mechanism, which is the glut protein. Now, when you eat correctly, which means with absence of glucose, then the level of glut protein is minimal. So this way, for example, you have a fructose, just very small amount of fructose can enter the blood, and since cells don't want it, insulin is not going to be injected, because this is unknown to the animal body or human body, because it does not need it. So basically what will happen, liver will break it down, same like it breaks alcohol, into fatty acids and uric acid. Now, when we eat correctly, when we eat like animals in a wilderness, if we eat everything raw, or if we eat even vegetables but not cooked, so what happens is that we do not have access to any glucose. Dietary glucose is not there. It is strictly shielded from us by design of the Creator through cellulose. So there is no chance of body getting misaligned because of glucose. Now, if by any chance you stumble upon a huge cake or ice cream and you eat it, what will happen? Since there is not enough transporting mechanism, the same thing with glucose will happen what happens with fructose. Only very small part of it can be absorbed, maybe 1 spoon, and the rest ends up in your colon. It will, same with fructose, ferment there. And then if you ate a lot of it, same like with fructose, it is going to inflame the intestine and it gives you diarrhea and you shoot it out. The problem is that our cells know what glucose is, because they use it as a booster fuel in a situation of shock or stress, because they get it from glycogen, which is released under influence of stress hormones. So when glucose comes in, then it is not going to be directed directly to liver. since it is going to raise a little bit the sugar level, well, immediately insulin is being injected because body says, whoa, let's not waste this stuff. Maybe we are in stress, because body has no idea where it came from, because in the nature it doesn't occur, and the body is not geared, it's not prepared for it to be part of our diet. So it reacts to it when it comes from your intestinal tract. It reacts to it same like if you would be in stress. Insulin shoots in the blood to open the membrane so it can go in the cells, so cells can use it for emergency. Sorry for the noise, it's raining, and the roof here is made out of metal. So what happened is that at the beginning, when you are starting eating starch, when you're starting eating cooked vegetables, carbohydrates, your absorption is low. This is why your sugar levels don't jump. But day after day, month after month, year after year, when you're exposed to it, every time you produce insulin, you produce a little bit more of GLUT transporter. Because there is more sugar, automatically calibration sets for higher level of transporters. Because in normal circumstances, or for regular cellular needs, when they need sugar to make amino acids, they don't take it through insulin. They send GLUT transporter, they send a truck out to bring it in. And selectively, because not every cell needs it at the same time. Which doesn't happen when you are in stress or when the level of glucose rises suddenly. The body has no idea where and why, and always overproduces everything, since it does not know how to calibrate something that it did not produce. Normally, body produces its own glucose for its needs. So now, year after year, you do this, and especially if you do it more. For example, they say, oh, Okinawan diet, this is perfect diet, and they eat rice. Well, Japanese, Chinese, they eat rice, but how much? One fistful with other stuff, and usually with fish and meat and things like that. So when you take limited amount, then you are much slower. You are raising the level of GLUT. But more of the stuff you eat, and everybody who is obese eats tons of it. Okay, a half loaf of bread, huge pasta dish, or huge potato dish, or huge rice dish, or what I see here, rice, beans, baked plantains, bread, 4 or 5 different carbs, huge plate, and a little piece of meat, maybe overfried fish that's crunchy, that's absolutely non-digestible, or a little bit of chicken prepared the same way. So this stuff is not healthy, and then so much carbs are coming in, so much glucose, that levels are rising, and then all of a sudden you start absorbing way more glucose. And not only glucose, now you're absorbing, GLUT doesn't discriminate. It's a sugar transporter. We are saying, GLUT 2, GLUT 4, GLUT 6, GLUT my ass. It's only one GLUT. And it absorbs any sugar and takes it in. So as the GLUT is rising, because you are stuffing your face with this forbidden food, you are creating more and more transporter, and now you are transporting huge amounts, and your blood level sugars are rising. Has nothing to do with how much insulin you produce. But then, of course, to make membranes more porous and more porous, you increase the level of insulin, especially because insulin is abrasive. Cells hate it. So what happens is that if it is daily occurrence, they start asking for cholesterol so they can reinforce the membranes. And here comes, after years and years and abuse, there comes the resistance to insulin. You always, the thicker membrane, more insulin you have to shoot in there. It has nothing to do with so much level of sugar as it is with timely application. Because everything worsens in time. So now, when, also this explains why some people can eat whole cake and their sugar jumps a little bit, and some people have just 1 spoon and sugar is up to the ceiling, because it all gets absorbed. Now, when you eat correctly, or if you have been through the self-healers protocol, if you did it correctly, under my guidance, or just have clear mind and you know how to follow protocol, then in time, again, this is not, people say, oh, I feel so great, I'm on a protocol 3 months, when can I start eating something else? 3 months is nothing. You feel great because body does not need anything else than what you are providing, and the healing continues. You start feeling pains and aches and stuff when body is demanding something that is not there. So after a while you will drop down, because it takes years for the level of GLUT to increase in the levels that you are becoming diabetic, which is nothing more than a symbol or name for that signifies elevated sugar blood level, sugar level in the blood over the radar, somewhere where it should not be. So stop eating the damn thing and sugar goes down quickly. Now the thing is that it takes time before the GLUT drops. It's different for every person. It all depends how much GLUT was there to start with, and then how many years of abuse, what is the state of your cellular membranes. Because everything has to change. And more changes that have to occur, longer is the process. So finally, once when the GLUT drops down, then you can eat starch again. But remember, it is not the quantity. It is the presence. Now the thing is that GLUT is not going to jump from one day to another. It took years for it to come out. Now, cells have a memory. Once, same like, for example, with muscles. If you have small muscles and you want to build them up, you have to work like a dog, and they will come up. If you had big muscles and you stop exercising and you lose them because body does not support what it doesn't need, and then you decide, wow, I want them back, and you start exercising, well, cellular memory will kick in and you will build up muscle rapidly, very quickly. So same happens with glut. Once when cell knows how much glut it needed when glucose was coming, then when again glucose appears, cell's memory kicks in and goes, whoa, we will need, because they know what happened. But it doesn't happen in one day. So first time, let's say you have been on a protocol for a year or 2 years, or even if you have not been in a bad shape, let's say 6 months, and your level of glut drops. Now there is a party and you really want to enjoy. Enjoy! And then don't limit yourself. There is no reason, because it really doesn't matter. It's all about the absorption. It's not about the quantity that you eat. So if there is not enough glut to make any high absorption of sugar, so you can eat a whole cake, you can eat great big pasta dish, you can eat your potatoes, you can eat whatever you want, and you will absorb small amount. But the next day, you may already absorb double, because cells will rapidly kick in the remembrance and say, whoa, we needed before this much and this much, this will happen, again, tomorrow will happen, cube, and they start making more glut. So don't go after saying, oh, I'm healthy, so now I can go, it will take years before it builds up again. That's not what happens. Okay, you can stray once, 2 days, okay, but don't go more than that. Then give your body a chance to again cleanse, go to the proper diet, and again minimize the glut. So you save yourself, so you are healthy, and then you can party like a maniac if you want. And you will stay healthy and enjoy your life. Just don't poison yourself daily, because it is all basically repetition. So once if you decide to go for self-healing protocol, don't think, oh, never again I can do this. No, I don't want to do that. You can go back and you can enjoy. I have my ice cream. When I have ice cream, I have a gallon of it. But I don't have it frequently. I have it once a month. Or sometimes twice, and sometimes once in 3 months. When my wife makes cake, her cakes are fabulous, so I don't need one thing. I want the whole cake. But again, this is for her birthday, my birthday, and maybe somebody else's birthday. We don't cook the stuff. My refrigerator has no carbohydrates whatsoever. Little bit for salads that my wife loves, and I have once a week maybe, sometimes twice a week, because I love it, Caesar salad with shrimps. But we don't have any flour, nothing, no potatoes, no rice, nothing in the house. If we go out, yeah, then I'll have it, but it's very seldom. And you will notice once when you are clean and readjusted, how little bit of food do you need? Yesterday I didn't eat nothing. Well, I had few bananas just to put something in the stomach, and I love them, but raw banana gives you no nourishment. And today same. I'll probably eat tomorrow. And when I eat, I have, again, small amount of meat. Is going to be maybe fish, maybe a little piece of chicken, I don't know, maybe cheese. We need such a small amount of food once when the body is clean, because cleansing process takes a lot of energy. Later on, we live almost on air. So keep that in mind. I hope that this answered your questions. Thank you. Love you all.